Hello Loomers, welcome to the first episode of Little Sun Crafts. Today we will be making an infinity bracelet on the loom. To start off, you will need a standard loom and a hook. You will also need about a handful of as many colors as you want. This is the bracelet we will be making. I will be using yellow and orange for my colors. Yellow for the outside and orange for the infinity signs in the center. Now let's begin. Let's start placing the bands on the loom. We'll start off with our loom with the arrows pointing away from us. We're going to take our first yellow band and connect from the first central pin going to the right. Just like that. Basically, you're going to keep going up the whole right side of your loom. If you haven't loomed before, this is the basic setup for most bracelets. Also be sure to subscribe, and if you like this bracelet, hit the thumbs up button. Once we get to the top, we're going to go from the right pin to the central pin again. Just like that. Then you can go ahead and push the bands down if you would like. Then we're going to go back up this way, all the way up, and then connecting back up. Basically make it symmetrical to what we just did. Now you can see I finished my base. Next we're going to start placing the orange bands. The orange bands will be the infinity, or in this case, the rainbow. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start placing on these two pegs. Then we're going to move to these two, then these two, then these two, and so on. We'll start by making a cap band and then taking it off. Or you can just simply create an infinity band or figure eight, and place it on the tops of the bands, or the tops of the pegs. Twist into a figure eight, put it on. Twist into a figure eight, and put it on. And we're going to do that all the way until we get to the top. Let me show you one more time. Twist, figure eight, place it on. Another way you can do it is using your hook. Making a cap band, and you can see it looks like an infinity sign. I find it easier to use my fingers. Now we're going to place one more band on the last two pins. You'll hear me say pins and pegs, but just know that that means these. So now we're going to place our cap band, and if you're familiar with looming, you'll know it is basically the figure eight but looped over itself. You can do that by creating a figure eight on your two fingers and place it on the last pin. Then you're going to flip your loom over so the arrows are pointing towards you, and we can start looming. So, the first thing I like to do when looming is take the cap band, not off, but just in a different direction. So, I'm going to take the cap band and put it, to the next pin, just to open things up to see what we're doing. So, first things first, we're going to go into our cap and take the first, remember to go back, under, and then take the first band. This should go to the right if you placed your bands going right first. Then you're going to go past, you're going to push back the orange band, the infinity band, and grab the outer band and loop it back over itself. This should create a teardrop, which is working on the single chain. It also works as an extension for any normal bracelet, or in this case, the outside. So you're going to push back the orange, grab the yellow, and loop it back over to itself. You're going to go in, push back the infinity band, grab the outer band, and loop the outer band back to its peg, its central peg where it came from. Going to do this again, push back the orange, grab the yellow, and loop the yellow back onto the peg. Push back the orange, grab the yellow. I'm going to finish this line and then I'll speed it up. Push back the orange, grab the yellow, loop it up, and put it back onto its peg. Push back, grab. Another tip is to go through with your hook facing like backwards. So you can push back and grab. You can also use 2 hooks if you would like, if you find it easier, but a good loomer always uses this technique. So you can grab it back like that. Grab the orange back in case you don't like going in backwards, and then grab the yellow. Kind of feels like you're operating. Then you're going to go again, push back the orange, grab the yellow. Once you're here, you're going to push back the orange and grab the yellow once more. And loop it back onto the central pin here. Now you can see that this band right here, this peg, is holding the whole right hand side. That's how it should be. Then you can loosen up your capping band and you can start going to the left, just the same as the right. Now we are done looming. As you can see, I connected back up. So now this peg actually holds the whole bracelet. So what we're going to do is choose the color you want for the extension. I would suggest doing the inside color. As you can see here, my extension is rainbow. So, of course, I'm doing orange for my extension. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook, make sure it's facing backwards, and go through everything. Then push back in an available spot and just hold it there. Grab your band and put the orange band onto the hook. Then pull the orange band through all of this and loop it back onto itself like that. So the orange band should be holding everything now. Slide it onto your hook and you can start pulling off. You can start from the top or the bottom, doesn't matter, everything should be loomed. So you can just start taking it off, just be sure if there's tension, be sure to do it slowly so no bands snap. Take it off the last pin too. You don't need your loom anymore. And now that's our bracelet. You can stretch it out a bit, however you like. Now, if you would like it to not just be a chain, or a charm, you can add an extension so it can be a bracelet, just like this one. So, you're going to choose the amount that you want it to be long, or you can measure, you could have already created the chain. Nonetheless, I'm going to create it with you. So, grab your first band and hook it on like this. Turn it around so it's like this, and slide it off, making sure you don't get anything on it. Turn it back over onto itself. Another way you can do it is if you have a mini rainbow loom and you find this too complicated to do on the hook, what you can do is you can transfer it. For example, grabbing it with your fingers, making sure you're careful, and loop it on. And you're just going to keep making the chain. So now I'm going to add the last one. Alright, now you have your single chain extension. Next, you're going to take your C-clip or S-clip, whatever you choose. I'm using a C-clip for this one. And what you are going to do is you're going to take one side, taking your hook, put one side over onto the other side. Doesn't have to be in any specific order. And then you are going to just put the C-clip onto one side, hook it onto one side. Then you can take your bracelet off, and your C-clip should be holding it all together. Now we have completed our bracelet. The last step is connecting the cap band that you used to the end. So find your cap band, and all you have to do is just put the other end of the C-clip, clip it on, connecting both ends. And then there you have it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. Also, be sure to show your friends, tell all of your friends about this channel, and subscribe and like if you enjoyed making this bracelet with me. Thank you. And then this is Little Sun.